So sometimes we can feel quite stuck within our emotions. You know, when it feels really quite intense, maybe we're replaying an old memory within our mind over and over that deeply affected us. Maybe it's a physical pain in the body that just keeps taking you away from the present moment. Whatever that emotion is, we know that it's not a positive experience. It's quite negative and it takes us away from our day-to-day. And the pull that it has on our life makes us feel like we almost need to do something physical to push past it. And that's why EFT is such a wonderful tool to have under our belt and something I want to share with you today. So if you've never heard of it before, EFT is Emotional Freedom Technique and does just that. It frees us from the emotional holding. So it's based on a bit of psychology and a bit of energy work, or kind of like the traditional Chinese medicine idea of meridians. So the energetic pathways along the body. So let's take it back a few steps. And firstly, we just want to understand that energetically, the body works in synergy. When everything's good, when we're feeling great and positive, energy flows freely with ease. So the second something negative comes within our life, so an experience and the emotion that's tied to that experience, it creates a blockage along these pathways. And what you can imagine, when we have a blockage, it's like we keep pushing and butting our head against that, right? So when we feel that emotion over and over, we feel like we're almost butting our head, and it's like anxiety, we meet again, or whatever it might be that you're feeling. So we want to basically acknowledge that feeling. So we're not stepping away or avoiding it, we're acknowledging it and deeply and completely accepting that, while also physically moving that energy by using a bit of the idea of traditional Chinese medicine and those acupuncture points or acupressure points along the meridian lines. So we use tapping to physically move that energy on the point, while also being tied mentally to whatever that experience is. So there's a few steps and I'm going to take you through them now. So the first step is we want to acknowledge the intensity of what we feel and set a benchmark. So we need to know from a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being the most intense, how much you're feeling that emotion. So let's just say today that we're going to work with a feeling stressed about a project. And I'm feeling that stress on a level of 8. Okay, so that sets your benchmark. So then when each time you do your round, you know how far you've progressed, how much you've improved from that level 8 or whatever it might be. The next part is to deeply acknowledge what it is that you're feeling, and then deeply and completely accept it. So that is the script. There is a bit of a script that's often given, and it is, I feel blank, but I deeply and completely accept myself. So let's say, I feel stressed about the project that I have to do today, but I deeply and completely accept myself. So once we've got that set up, you also might want a little statement that you can just mentally repeat to yourself as you do the tapping, just to keep yourself tied to that. So we know that the monkey mind often tries to take us away, but we really want to stay connected to what it is that we're trying to shift. So we can just say stressed about the project as a short statement. So we start the tapping now, and the first tapping point happens at the karate chop point, which is just on the outside edge of your hand. And this is the setup point where we say the statement. So you tap as long as you need to say that statement. So I feel stressed about the project I have to do today, but I deeply and completely accept myself. Now we come to the next, or the first tapping point, the next tapping point, and we want to tap on these points 3 to 7 times. And we can mentally repeat that small phrase just to remind ourselves what we're doing. So stressed about the project. So 3 to 7 times, outside edge of the eyebrow, then to the other edge of the eyebrow. Then we go underneath the eye, just where the bone is of the eye socket. Then we go just between the nose and the top lip, middle of the chin, underneath the collarbone, and then underneath the armpit, maybe about an inch or 2 under the armpit, and then on top of the head. Okay, so that's one round. So you can check in with yourself, see that intensity, and then you can repeat it to the other side. So reminding yourself, I feel anxious or stressed about that project I have to do today, but I deeply and completely accept myself. Next we go to the eyebrow point, outside edge of the eyebrow point, under the eye, above the top lip rather, middle of the chin, under the collarbone, under the armpit, and on top of the head. So you can repeat that as many times as you need, but give it a go and let me know how you feel underneath. If you have any questions, let me know. You can reach me at Kundala_yoga. Or if you've done it before and you know that it works for you, you never know who's watching. Share below, let other people know that this has really improved your life, or maybe it hasn't. Whatever your experience has been, maybe it'll help somebody else out there. So let's get chatting about it, and I hope that this helps. Have a beautiful Friday. Thanks for joining me again for another week, and I'll catch you next week. Namaste.